Hello, welcome. This is Jensen Vars. I am the creator of Plot Unfolding Machine for solo RPG. PUM is a GM emulator that allows you to play tabletop RPGs without a GM. What makes Plot Unfolding Machine different is that it focuses on get you unblocked, focuses on get you started and rolling your games. The idea of it is that you play it with an RPG in mind, so it's a bit less oriented for storytellers or writers and more for solo role-player games and people who want to play RPGs on it. You can play it with other solo systems like Mythic, Game Master Apprentice cards, and so on, or you can play it on its own. And if you play it on Foundry, Mythic GME Tools module includes a panel for Plot Unfolding Machine that you can activate. In there, you will have everything you need to get playing. Let's take a look at the rules. PUM is very simple actually. What you need to get started is a goal, maybe some characters and some idea of what is the story about. You could also use the Plot Unfolding Machine to generate an adventure seed, but I'm not going to check or talk about that right now. Let's assume we have two characters on the town of Fairville, and their mission is to find the Goblin Camp, because the Goblin boss knows where a secret ruin is on this region. Of course, the goblins are usually bad people, so the idea is yes to get to talk to them somehow. So let's say that's the plot. The main mechanic of Plot Unfolding Machine is that the plots should have a plot score, so you don't run them forever. They start on a score of 3, and each scene that you play or go through, you review this score and increase it if things went well, or decrease it if things did not go so well for your characters. When that score arrives to 10, then the plot should be finished and you should be close to the conclusion of it. The Plot Unfolding Machine has a sheet that you can fulfill to describe what is your game about. In the concrete goals, you can say, find the Goblin Camp, and you write down number 3. So whenever you make steps forward towards that plot, you increase this value until it reaches 10. That's the only mechanic of the Plot Unfolding Machine, and it's completely optional, so if you don't like it, you can skip it. Let's get to the core mechanics of playing. It's all about scenes, because that's how you tell the story. The first thing you need to do is decide whether your characters know exactly what they want to do next, or if you want to leave it a bit open. If you know what they're going to do next, like go to some shop or go somewhere or talk to someone, then just propose that as a scene expectation and check it out. Because maybe something happens. For example, something is different. So you decided to go to, I don't know, the tavern to talk to the tavern keeper and ask him about the goblins, but something is different. Maybe the tavern keeper, the shopkeeper is not there at the time, or there's a fight, or the tavern is closed. That's up to you. You can also use the complication designer if you want when you get stuck about what can happen. The complication designer can say something like, the location is altered. So maybe, yes, the tavern is no longer there, or it's no longer functioning, or whatever, or they're building it or rebuilding it. That's one way of playing. In other situations, you might say, I'm really stuck. I don't know where my game starts. In those cases, you play with the scene designer. The scene designer is a prompt going to say something like, catch an enemy taking action. Of course, in this case, our only enemy are the goblins, so it makes sense. Let's assume we catch the goblins doing something. This is where you can help yourself with further oracle in Plot Unfolding Machine. There's one oracle called activity. This is good for when you want to know what someone or something is doing. What are the goblins doing? This oracle says they are requesting authority. This is funny. Maybe the goblins are entering the village and they request, or they are actually demanding the mayor to give them the town. So this is a funny scene event, and as you can see, you can play it for here. If you need further attempts, prompt to get you going, you can also include a challenge. With the challenge designer, you're going to get something like notice, intuition, or perceive, and a factor that needs specific tools. This might prompt you even further, because okay, what my characters can do, the GM maybe proposes something, and maybe we cannot see the goblins in the first place, or maybe one of the goblins is disguised, entering the walls of the town before they make this demand. So all of this helps you designing the scene. So you can say, okay, there's maybe infiltrating goblins that my characters need to find. That's optional as well. It's just an idea. But there's even more. There's the high stakes. You might ask, okay, what happens once I catch the goblins? On success, we save times or costs. Maybe it would cost a lot if we didn't catch the goblins trying to infiltrate, or we gain time because, well, we discovered the goblins are there and we can ask them to take us to their boss directly. So we save time. But if we fail, a weakness is revealed. What could that be? Let's say we fail to catch the goblins and they found us first or find us attempting to find them. Okay, now we are exposed. Now they say or they notice there are two characters on their trail and they might have a higher alertness. So things might get complicated. So I hope you followed up so far, but this is the idea of the plot unfolding machine. As you can see, it's full of prompts of how to get you started. Let's assume we play along, and with a further example, we say, okay, our characters are going to depart. They're going to follow the river in search of the goblin camp. That's an expectation. So I don't want to do the scene designer. I imagine them already traveling, walking around. I just want to know if something happens. So expectation this checker and says as expected, nothing weird happens. And then I might start asking questions. How does the area look like? It says incredibly safe. So maybe there are guards from Fairville patrolling the area. It's still close to the town. There are some trade routes, so they are protected. There are some posts, guards. And then I start playing. Maybe I don't think anything else. I want to roll for Survivor to see if there's any trace of goblin steps or footprints. Or maybe I want to ask the guards, because now I know this place is incredibly safe, so I know there are guards or something like that. I could also ask who is there. And it's gonna say a family-related enemy. Maybe this is a character topic. Maybe one of our characters have a family around in this region. But it's an enemy, so it's someone we are not exactly friends. And they say, we happen to notice Jasek's oldest brother, who competed with him at the temple. What is he doing there? Maybe an activity is good, or maybe what does he want? The intent oracle is good to speak about intentions and as well as disposition. And it says, does he want? He wants to fight enemies. Who are their enemies? Or why? We can even ask why is he fighting enemies here? There's a reason oracle that can answer this kind of questions. He's fighting enemies because he wants to reinforce a revenge or a debt he has. So as you can see, the oracles are quite inspiring and can get you going. If you ask the right questions, that is. Finally, you can make yes or no questions. Plot unfolding machine, yes or no oracle is a bit more, let's say, complex. It can answer differently. So you can ask, is he wearing a sword? And you can get answers like, don't know, but it looks like he is armed. So this is a bit tricky. What is a don't know? Maybe we don't see it right away. Let's see other kind of answers. Is he with anyone? Okay, I got it down now again. I don't know. The GM says you don't know if they're with anyone. There's a group of people around him, but you don't know if they are with him. So these oracles are complex. And what? Maybe you can ask what? And what else? And you get wrong solution. And it looks like they're looking for someone in the wrong place. So this is how you have fun with the plot unfolding machine. You can ask questions, you can prompt with your characters, you can look for challenge, you can even design a combat. If we start a fight, what's so special about this fight? There's a time limit. Why? You can see the plot unfolding machine oracles are quite extensive. A time limit, why? Because we need to provide resources or wealth. Maybe there's something on fire and we need to pull water into the fire, or else the building is gonna be completely ruined. Okay, I hope you like this idea. I would like to see how you play with it and your thoughts. I am Jensen Vars, and if you like it, please support me and check it out. Bye bye.